We're really proud to be part of the Real Organic Project for multiple reasons. One is that the Real Organic Project stands for the true intent of what the National Organics Program intended to be. You know, over the years, the standards have become watered down, the enforcement has become watered down, and there's really a disparity between the written law and what the consumer gets. So it's important for us to kind of draw the line in the sand somewhere, and you know, we're proud to be part of this organization and join forces with hundreds of other farms across the United States that feel the same way. I'm Cameron Molberg with Greener Pastures Chicken, and we're located in Elgin, Texas. I've been raising pasture poultry for over 10 years now. I was really drawn to organic agriculture as a college student in West Texas. My grandparents, though they weren't farmers, they always gardened organically, never used synthetic substances. It was really important to them that they provided their families good food. And so, you know, it's just something that was passed down to me that I really appreciated. When I was in college, organic agriculture really didn't have much of a following. So in some ways, I took my agriculture education and did quite the opposite. Everything they taught me, I did a 180 with it. So instead of confining chickens, we give them ample amount of space. Instead of putting them in dark houses, closed off, we give them sunshine and grass and access to bugs and grubs and everything that's out in their natural environment. One thing that's very important to us is moving the houses. The birds are never in one spot for more than 3 days. That's really important because it helps mitigate nitrogenation of the soil. We want to make sure that the soil is healthy and can rebound quickly. And we also don't want the chickens to be in a dirty environment. One of the most efficient ways to improve the soil is to have your livestock in direct contact with the soil. They're depositing their manure, which is a fertilizer. And so that's really a low impact way of monitoring and maintaining the viability of your farm. The organic system is not about having multiple off-farm inputs. The ideal organic system is a closed circle where everything serves a purpose. Everything has a benefit. And so you're less reliant on outside inputs. And so that's what we're really trying to promote. And that's one reason why, you know, Greener Pastures Chicken is so excited to be a part of the Real Organic Project, because, you know, I think the consumer is expecting a product that is Real Organic Project certified. This is what the organic system or National Organics Program should have been. But unfortunately, with the corporate influence and the lobbyists that have made their way into the organics program, you know, the Real Organic Project is critically important now. You know, when it comes to organics currently, nowadays there's two different organics. There's the Purists and then there's the corporate side. What the consumer thinks is happening is that these birds have outdoor access. And for me, outdoor access means, you know, being in the sunshine, being on grass, directly connected to the soil. Right now, these birds have plenty of space to move around. They're able to exhibit their natural behaviors. You know, in a factory organic operation, the birds only get roughly, you know, maybe the size of a sheet of paper to roam around for their entire life. And a lot of these egg operations, what they'll have is they may have, you know, 40,000 square foot building in little doors that are about, just a couple square feet. And then they'll open up a few of them around the house, and those birds won't go outside because it's a behavioral thing. They can't see outside. They don't know if there's a predator out there. They're not going to step outside without, you know, a clear sight of what's out there and how they can protect themselves. Furthermore, they don't put feed or water on the outside. Aside from there may be grass, but typically not. It's typically just dirt. So the birds aren't getting any benefit in that scenario. And a lot of the other houses, they just have porches. So the birds can go outside to a certain degree. They're in fresh air, but they're not on the ground. They're not eating bugs. They're not able to scratch and you know, basically forage and exhibit those natural behaviors. So, you know, I hate to say it, but, you know, when it comes down to the welfare of some of the livestock in the organic certification program, it's really, it's not what the consumer expects, and it's not what the farmers that are really trying to do it want either. And it's not what the livestock want. Everything wants to exhibit their natural behaviors, and in those factory farmed organic operations, they're not given the enrichments, they're not given the environment to really flourish. The birds have to come first. At the end of the day, if the birds aren't healthy, if they aren't happy, they're not going to grow right, they're not going to be as productive, and they're not going to be producing all the benefits that we see in pasture birds, the meat quality, the vitamins and minerals that are far superior in pasture birds. And so with a stress-free environment, we're able to ensure that our quality of our bird is top-notch. One thing that we've always focused on, at least I focus on from a production standpoint, is to scale up while not compromising our standards. That's really important to me. The first thing I often hear is that this isn't scalable. You can't raise 1,000 chickens or 10,000 chickens a week in this type of production system, which is it's false. The reason why they say that, or why industry says that, is simply because it protects the bottom line. They don't have to adjust to better welfare standards. They don't have to adjust to better lifestyle for not only the birds, but the people that are managing them. So it really is a myth, and again, we want the consumer to know what we're all about. We want the consumer to know there's a difference in the industry, and the Real Organic Project is one effective way of doing that. We have 32 sections in this large brooder house. We have about 500 birds in here. They have ample amount of space, plenty of feed access, plenty of water access. Fresh air is really important. We also have the brooder heater and lighting systems, which help mitigate stresses on the birds. So, you can just see that these birds are exhibiting their natural behaviors, especially, just for a day old. All these birds, when we were placing them, what we do is we introduce them to the waters by hand. Every single bird before they are placed onto the surface. And part of the reason we do that is we want to make sure that they're hydrated, that these are nipple waters. We want to make sure that they're familiar and accustomed to them. And so once they get a little bit of hydration into them, then they're introduced to the feed, and that allows them to more easily digest and process the feed that they're consuming. The feed is all, certified organic. Baby chick is just like a baby human. They get tired and then they take a nap and just do their own thing. Like these guys over here. Probably got a big old belly full of feed. But yeah, and there you probably heard the heater kick on. Again, we like to keep it about 95 degrees in here, which is nice and comfortable for them. Maybe not so much for me. These birds are 3 weeks old and just moved out to pasture. As you can tell, we have ventilation fans, heaters if needed, shade cloth on the top, open air throughout the house, roll-up curtains. The birds are doing and acting just as they would in the natural environment. You can see that one right over there, scratching around, looking for bugs, worms. Others that are a little bit smarter are at the feed pan, looking for the easy meal. Waters are at the top, just a little bit above the chickens so they can reach. That helps mitigate water hitting the ground and getting musty in here, and it allows them to stay better hydrated and cleaner. It's about 90-95 degrees outside. In here it's Nice, cool, and comfortable with the shade cloths, the fans, the misting system. Plenty of space for these birds. You know, I think the real organic consumer is a consumer that expects their chicken to be raised in a manner such as this. If the consumer knew that a lot of factory organic chicken in the retail locations, or even in food service for that matter, came from, you know, a factory farm where the birds couldn't even turn around or flap their wings freely or stretch out, sunbathe, any of those behaviors, they would probably be pretty shocked, and they wouldn't want to put their money behind it. So the Real Organic project is really important because it easily allows the consumer to differentiate between factory organic and real organic.